Hello guys, this video tutorial is basically for mathematics in the branch of computer science and engineering. So CS students के लिए basically for GATE exam or for SSC exams which is specific to some computer science technical jobs और या फिर आपकी NIC की जॉब के लिए we have started a new session on mathematics, and the syllabus for the mathematics is similar for all these examinations, and the main topics for this syllabus are as first is uh, they will ask from the logic, then the second is from probability and statistics. It is very most important topic in mathematics, probability. uh, this is probability and statistics. Then next is set theory, then combinations, or we can say combinatorics, and graph theory is also important. Then matrices or linear algebra, then some numerical methods, and calculus. You can go and check the syllabus of GATE exam, or you can also check the syllabus of NIC Scientist B or Technical Officer exam. The syllabus would be the same. The main topics are these one: logic, probability and statistics, set theory, combinatorics, graph theory, matrices and numerical methods. Out of these 8 topics, the most important topics are from 1 to 5, and the probability of questions which are to be asked are greatly from these 5 topics, and these topics are small importance. You can go and refer some high school or lower level textbooks or intermediate level textbooks to cover these topics, but we have our prime focus would be to cover these 5 topics in detail. So in this lecture we will start from the probability and statistics and cover these topics one by one. Please follow the lecture series one by one, and let's start for today onwards. Let's start with the probability and distributions. So let's start with the probability and statistics. The main topic which we have to cover in this section is we have to understand the basic probability. Then we will cover probability distribution. And then finally we will do some of the statistics understanding like mean, median, mode and standard deviation. So we start with the basic probability first. So we have some of the terms which will be used in case of basic probability. So let's start with the basic probability introduction. What is basic probability? So we need to cover some of the term like what is experiment, what is sample space, what is event. Okay, so first let's cover these 3 terms in the scenario of probability. So the experiment is a work of conduct by that one or more outcomes are there. Okay, so the definition may be it is some type of work which is to be conducted in order to result some outcome. Now I just write in brief. Let me change the pen. It is a work of conduct, and by this work of conduct it will lead to some outcome, and this outcome may be of two types. Either the outcome is random or it may be non-random. For example, if you throw a dice or if you flip a coin, then the outcome may be random. You cannot predict that whether a head or tail would be there, or you cannot predict any face of the dice, whether it is 1 is detected or 2 or 6 is to be came. Okay, so in random process you may have the example like dice and coin toss. Okay, so we cannot predict uh, by any physical equation that what would be the outcome when this experiment is to be conducted. In case of non-random, uh, like if we consider a variable to measure the velocity or to measure the speed of something, so these variables are can be taken as a non-random variable. Okay, and we can determine the velocity by some deterministic experiment or by some physical equations are there which can be which can predict the outcome of this experiment. Okay, so experiment is nothing but a work of conduct, and this work of conduct can lead to an outcome, and outcome may be a random or non-random process. Now the second point is sample space. What is a sample space? So the sample space can be a think of like the set of all possible outputs. It can be think of like set of all possible outputs. For example, if you have a coin toss variable, then the value for this variable or outcome of this variable would be head or tail. So this head or tail would become a sample space for this coin variable. If I have two coins in my experiment, then the sample space would be greater because the chances of the possible outputs would be greater. Like we can have head and head in both coins. We can also have head and tail. We can also have tail and tail, and we can also have tail and head. So there may be four outcomes, possible outcomes. Okay, similarly if I have a dice, then the possible outcomes would be 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and if I increase the variable, two dices are there, then the outcome may be 1 1 1 2 and so on, 1 6. Similarly I can write here 2 1 and so on, 6 1, and similarly the matrix is created, and this matrix would be the sample space. Okay, so I think the sample space is clear. Now third point is event. What is event? So event is always a subset of sample space. If I denote sample space by S and event by E, then an event is always a subset of S. So I can take any subset from this sample space. This subset is become an event for me. Okay, so this is a mathematical term for an event, or mathematical explanation of for an event. Okay, so means, for example, consider a sample space for this coin experiment. So the sample space would be S is equal to head and tail. There are only two possibilities. So if the I can say that I will take only H from this sample space, then I can make event E1 which have H as a sample space. Oh sorry, H as a subset of this sample space, and this would be event 1. Similarly, I can have event 2 which will contain tail. I can have event 3 which will contain head and tail. So it may possible, but it is not true for the real world. Okay, if I have one coin, it is not possible to have both of the head and tail, but yes, it may have a subset of any. Okay, so similarly it may possible that a empty event is there, means no possible outcome may be there. So this can be possible. So we can find out the probability, that at how much, what is the probability of this set is come, what is the probability of this set is come, what is the probability of this set is come. So see here, because this set is equal to sample space, it have the maximum probability, because either H or T would come, so this will represent the maximum probability. So let's see what is the probability for P of E1. So what is the probability? P of E1 means probability of event 1 to be occurred. So P of E1 can be think of as the item or the events, number of events that occur actually, and the total number of events that can be possible. So the event which is occurred is 1 and the total number of events is 2. It means the probability of occurring this event is 0.5. Similarly, probability of event E2 would be 0.5, and the probability of event 3 would be 2 by 2, and that is 1. This is a maximum probability. Okay, so by that I can define the probability, means possibility of any event in the sample space. So the definition, mathematical definition of a probability of an event can be given as the number of event that occur upon the number of sample space, means the total number of possible events. There are total number of ways an outcome are possible. How many ways the outcome is possible? So this is the basic formula for the probability. Okay. Now there are some more outcomes by this mathematical term. For example, if I have a pair of dices, so the sample space, as we saw previously in example, the sample space is 36. There are total 36 possible outcomes are possible. So the number of possible events, so I write here possible events, number of possible events can be any combination of these 36 outcomes. So how many combinations are there? It may have 2 to the power 36 combinations. So if I have, like for a coin toss example, if there are 2 sample size, then the number of event would be 2 raised to the power 2. That means we have E node, E1, E2 and E3. We have seen in previous example. So there are 4 events that could be possible. Similarly, for pair of dices, if we have sample size as 36, it means their number of possible events would be 2 to the power 36. So it means the number of possible events can be calculated as the number of events possible can be given by 2 to the power cardinality of S, means the total number of sample space or size of the sample space. Okay, so suppose a question to be asked is, what would be the probability of having sum is equal to 7 if you have thrown 2 dice? So we have to find out the probability of sum is equal to 7. So see, how many combinations, how many outcomes are possible for this condition to be met? We have thrown 2 dice. So if I got 1 on first dice, I have to wait for the 6 on another dice. Okay, so this may be a combination. Similarly, 2 5 may be a combination, 3 4 may be a combination, then 4 3 is a combination, 5 2 is a combination, and 6 1 is a combination. So total event that could be possible is 6, and the total possible outcomes would be 36. As we have seen, 2 dice we can have 36 possible outcomes. So the probability would be 1 upon 6. So we can find out the probability easily by this formula. Okay. Now, so the probability would be the number of way an event is occurred and the number of sample space. What is the sample size? Okay. So I think these three terms are clear to you, and how to calculate the probability of any event. Now we will move to the approaches. What are the approaches to the probability? So approaches to the probability have uh, two possible ways. So, or we can say that there are two possible approaches by which we can calculate the probability. One is the classical method, as we have seen earlier, and other is the frequency based method. Okay, so in the classical method, probability of an event can be calculated by the number of events that can occur upon the number of sample size or number of sample space. Okay, now the classical in classical probability, generally what happens, it only includes when every outcome must be equally likely. So your outcome must be equally likely. And the second point is, we have finite set of outcomes, finite set of outcomes. So these two conditions must hold if we want to calculate the probability based on classical methods. Okay, now this other method is frequency approach or frequency based method, and in this approach the probability can be calculated as some number r into frequency of that event, or we can say that frequency of an event upon summation of all frequencies. Okay, here the r is relative frequency. Okay, so now the relative frequency or RFE can be calculated as the number of frequency or frequency of an event upon the total frequency. So the probability is nothing but a relative frequency of an event. So this is called the relative frequency of event E, and this denotes frequency of event, and this denotes total frequency. Okay, so for example, let's take an example. Suppose in a text, given text, we have to find out the probability of 4 letters to be occurred. Suppose let's take an example, like we have 4 letters A, B, C and D, and the frequency of each letter is given as 20, 30 and suppose this is also 30 and 20. Okay, now we need to find out the relative frequency. We can find if in order to find out the probability of each event to occur, probability of A to be occurred or probability of B to be occurred, then we can find out by computing its relative frequency. So the relative frequency of is the summation of this frequency may be 100, and the relative frequency is of this is 20 by 100, and that would result in 0.2. Similarly, this would result in 0.3, 0.3 and 0.2. Okay, and this would be the this would be can be treated as a probability of event A to be occurred, B to be occurred, or C to be occurred respectively, or we can say that these are the relative frequency for each event to be occurred. Okay, so now if I have the classical method instead of this frequency, if the frequencies are not given to me and if I have to apply the classical method in this problem, then I can have four possibilities, and one possibility for each event, it means 1 by 4 is the probability, because all event must be considered as equally likely in case of classical, so all probabilities are equal. And here in the relative or frequency based, the probability is not necessary to be equally likely. You may have different probabilities for each of the events. Okay.